Akephalos, the Headless One.
The Stele of Jeu is a tract within the Greek Magical Papyri and is designated as Section 5, verse 96 to 172. The Greek Magical Papyri is a compilation of highly syncretic texts that date from the 2nd century BCE to the 5th century CE of Hellenized Egypt. They are Greco-Egyptian magical spells and are loaded with references to Egyptian, Greek, Gnostic, Orphic, and Hebrew deities, sometimes all in the same document. Scholars have said that the Stele of Jeu is an example of an exorcism, given a recurring line in the document that requests deliverance from a spirit.
Headless One, deliver him from the spirit that possesses him.
Modern occultists, however, treat it as an exercise in self-transformation, theurgy or apotheosis, in which the aim is to identify with deity.
Make all spirits subject unto me, so that every spirit of heaven and of the air, upon the earth or under the earth, on dry land and in the water, and every spell and scourge of God may be obedient unto me.
The document is popularly known as the Bornless Ritual, based on interpretive ideas applied to it by late 19th and early 20th century occultists, namely founders of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn and Aleister Crowley. It is also known as the Headless Rite because the text is directed to a deity referred to as Akephalos, Greek for Headless One. The term could refer to any number of obscure ancient headless deities, and it is often assumed to refer to an Egyptian one. John Coleman Darnell tells us in the Enigmatic Netherworld books of the Solar Osirian Unity, which deciphers hieroglyphic content from the tombs of Tutankhamun, Ramesses VI, and Ramesses IX, that Akephalos refers to a Greco-Roman deity associated with the Egyptian Osiris, in the form of not a mummified god of the underworld, but a solar deity, Ra Osiris. The author provides consensus evidence based on archaeological finds and Egyptology research that the head of the headless form of Osiris is the sun, and that the solar Osiris is one with Ra. The concept of a solar progenitor Osiris is affirmed in another scholarly text, which also points out that and how the Stele of Jeu associates Ra Osiris as Akephalos with the god of the Hebrews.
I am Moses thy prophet, to whom you committed your mysteries, the ceremonies of Israel.
The authors also point out that the term Akephalos is associated with the Egyptian god Bes in two other sections of the Greek Magical Papyri. Bes is a beneficent solar deity. Lines within the Stele of Jeu, while referring to epithets of both Osiris and Yahweh, also may point to Ra.
I call upon you, the Headless
For
One,
example,
that created the heaven and
you
the
who
earth.
created the earth and the heavens, Geb and Nut, technically Ra's grandchildren by Shu and Tefnet.
You fashioned female and male.
You who have made the female and the male, Ra's son and daughter, Tefnut and Shu.
You produced the moist and the dry and all manner of food.
You who have produced the moist and the dry, and that which nourishes all life. Again, a reference to Tefnut and Shu. Also, just as the orator in the Stele of Jeu ultimately identifies with the supreme progenitor solar deity, so too do souls who successfully traverse the underworld become Ra in Egyptian afterlife spirituality.
I am the headless spirit, having sight in my feet, strong, the immortal fire. I am the truth.
Just as Osiris becomes self-realized as Ra, so too does the worthy soul. References to Phanes, an Orphic solar deity that personifies the light of creation and is associated with Eros, life force, and Aeon, eternal cyclical time, also may be read into the last lines of the Stele of Jeu, which say,
I am the begetter and the bringer forth.
I am the grace of
I am the
Aeon.
grace of the world.
My name is a hort encircled by a serpent.
My name is the heart girt with a serpent.
Phanes, according to the ancient Greek historian Diodorus, was identified with Osiris among the Orthics, and the 5th century Neoplatonic apologist Proclus identified Phanes with Dionysus, who was generally regarded in the ancient world as a Greek equivalent of Osiris. Although Akephalos is assumed in occult circles to refer to Osiris in relation to the constellation Orion or else Set, Akephalos may instead refer to God as the supreme divine light, known by different names in different cultures, and most familiar to Egyptians as Atum or Amun-Ra. The Stele of Jeu addresses the deity Osiris, beautiful Osiris, as Iabas and Iapos.
You are Osiris, whom no man has seen at any time. You are Iabas. You are Iapos.
Samaritan names for Yahweh, and also appears to use Hebraic god names and anagrams within the strings of barbarous terms within the text. Example, Iao and Sabaoth. The late classical era Gnostic deity Abraxas is thrown into the mix, as is Aeon and presumably Thanes. These names might all be used in a syncretic way as terms for one redemptive, restorative, and supreme divine principle.
This is the Lord of the gods. This is the Lord of the world. This is he whom the winds fear. This is he who made voice by his commandment. Lord of all things, King, Ruler, Helper, save this soul.
Professor Stephen Skinner also tells us in Techniques of Greco-Egyptian Magic that in oratories like the Stele of Jeu, the orator's magical efficacy was in identifying as the deity addressed. In the Stele of Jeu, the orator builds into full identification with Akephalos to command removal of an obstructive energy from another individual. Whereas modern occultists exclusively focus on identification with deity, I myself contemplate those aspects of my life and self that need to be redeemed, and become both the redeemer and redeemed in the practice of and meditation on the rite.
I call upon you, the Headless One, that created the heaven and the earth, that created night and day. You, the creator of light and darkness. You are Osiris, whom no man has seen at any time. You are Iabas. You are Iapos. You have distinguished the just and the unjust. You fashioned female and male. You produced seeds and fruits. You made men to love one another and to hate one another. I am Moses thy prophet, to whom you committed your mysteries, the ceremonies of Israel. You produced the moist and the dry and all manner of food. Listen to me. I am the angel Osiris. This is your true name handed down to the prophets of Israel. Listen to me. Hear me and drive away this spirit. I call you the terrible and invisible God residing in the empty wind. Headless One, deliver him from the spirit that possesses him. Strong One, Headless One, deliver one so afflicted from the spirit that possesses him. Deliver such a one. This is the Lord of the gods. This is the Lord of the world. This is he whom the winds fear. This is he who made voice by his commandment. Lord of all things, King, Ruler, Helper, save this soul. I am the headless spirit, having sight in my feet. Strong, the immortal fire. I am the truth. I am he that hates that ill deeds should be done in the world. I am he that rains thunder and lightning. I am he whose sweat is the shower that falleth upon the earth that it may teem. I am he whose mouth ever burneth. I am the begetter and the bringer forth. I am the grace of the world. My name is the heart girt with a serpent. Come forth and follow. Make all spirits subject unto me, so that every spirit of heaven and of the air, upon the earth or under the earth, on dry land and in the water, and every spell and scourge of God may be obedient unto me.